In the next 3 modules, we're going to talk about the habits you might need to introduce your new learning in a way that feels relatively easy and smooth, because the last thing we want this to be is something else you have to do. Being a connected leader is not additional activity that you have to do. You don't have to now go and post on Workplace every day. You don't have to now go and use Teams in every minute. What this is a new way of doing what you're already doing. You are already leading people. You are already caring about people. You are already connecting with people. What we're talking about here is leveling up your skills for how you do that at scale, across more people, at pace, a lot more immediately, and at a depth that we haven't been able to go to before as leaders because we haven't had the platforms to do that. These are new platforms. They have only been in the world of work for a decade. We are still learning as leaders how to fully leverage them and integrate them to enhance our leadership. So again, I repeat, this is not, being a connected leader is not something else you have to do now. It is a natural evolution of your leadership to help you lead better and to help you lead effectively in a world that continually changes and that now has new ways for us to take advantage of. So to that end, let's chat through what are some of the habits that you might create to make it easy for you to learn and practice the connected leadership skills that we've been talking about through this program. And the first habit that we're going to look at is a habit around planning. Like anything else you would approach in your leadership, at some point you're going to sit down and go, how do I do this well? How does it intersect with everything else that I'm doing? You don't go out there and throw your team or your business 100 things to do all at once. You sit down and you go, what makes sense where? What's going to leverage what? How do I make this easy for people to understand and then work with? It's the same thing with your communication plan, and in this case a connection plan. I recommend that you integrate it into your existing planning. If you have a habit as a leader of sitting down once a week and looking ahead to what's coming in the diary and making sure I'm prepared, that's where you also then add in the and what of that could be used to connect with people. Where am I going to be that I could take a photo and connect with people? What am I thinking about that I could ask a question or a poll on? So it's about taking your existing habits as a leader that you will have, that make you effective, that keep you on top of things. And it's about hanging off that habit, a new habit of, and how do I use that to connect? So we don't want to create new habits, we actually want to use your existing habits and hang a new habit off them. That's how we introduce new ways of working in a way that feels really easy. So planning it, very, very important, and integrating it into your existing planning, also very important. Otherwise you hit the end of the week and you go, I forgot. I ran out of time. Yeah, I just got too busy. This is what happens when we don't plan. So getting out front rather than reactive to how you are connecting with people can be helpful. Sometimes people say to me, oh, that feels really inauthentic or disingenuous. It's not about planning what necessarily you're going to say, it's about planning the opportunities you might have to connect. Because this brings us to your second habit to introduce, schedule it. On Workplace, there is a function where you can go in and schedule a post or a piece of information to come out. You can't do this with comments. Obviously that's on somebody else's post, and reactions, you're going to need to do those live. But for anything that you know you're going to need to release in terms of there's a message that you want to put out there and you're going to put it out in this format at this point in time, you can schedule that, and you can schedule it well in advance. And Teams does not yet have the ability to pre-schedule, but on Workplace it is absolutely a tool that you can use and should take advantage of, so that you are still connecting with people even when you're busy doing other things. And so long as the message is genuine, it is still a very genuine way of communicating. Finally, batch it. There will be messages that you want to deliberately put and seed out through the business across a particular point in time. And again, this is about shining the spotlight on what's important. If you know you need your business or your team focused on this for the coming quarter, that's what you should be connecting with them on. And we can batch the content creation around that. And by that I mean sit down and actually go, okay, what would I need to communicate or get people connected on where? And let me get all of that sorted now, and then either pre-schedule it or have it ready to go as I'm going out. So again, it's just about preparation, and it's not about being disingenuous, it's about being prepared as a leader. You would not go on stage and give a big speech to 1,000 people without having rehearsed, without having prepared a little bit about what you were going to say and communicate. This is exactly the same. A connected leader is visible and consistent. That visibility means we're on stage. It's okay to practice a little, it's okay to prepare, and it's okay to rehearse. It will still be authentic in the moment when you are delivering it. So, you are a connected leader, you are actively demonstrating care enough about the messages you're giving and the people who are receiving them to sit down, plan, schedule and batch. If you are sitting there going, I just don't have time for this, then really I also encourage you to ask, if you don't have time for this, do you have time to be a leader? Your job as a leader is to connect with people and to show them the way, not just do things yourself. So I will leave you with that little thought and 3 key takeaways on how to make it easy for yourself. Plan it, schedule it, and batch it or rehearse it. In the next module, we're going to talk about the little habits you can create to make sure that you do stay joining conversations and that it doesn't become this big distraction and you're suddenly on social media all the time. So the little habits that will make you super effective as a connected leader, that's coming up in the next module.